Hello, welcome back to my channel. I have a palette review for you. This just came in the mail. This is from Wicked Sisters. They're an indie brand. I've had I've had a few subscribers that also follow me on Instagram tag me in this brand, and I've been interested in trying them for a while, and they finally had a palette that really reached out and grabbed me. If you've been following me for a while, you probably already know this. If you're new, I like Beetle Juice. I also like Nightmare Before Christmas. So when this came out, I figured I had to buy it and this would be my chance. So we're going to be going over this palette. I'll swatch it. We'll do a look. I'll do my face makeup before we do the look. But yeah, if that sounds interesting and you're curious about that, then definitely stick around. I'm not going to open the palette just yet. We'll go a little more in depth. I'll show you my other handbook for the recently deceased palette. We'll do swatches, we'll do a look, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So we'll do it in that order. So if there's anything you don't want to see, you can skip ahead. Feel free. Make sure you are subscribed. I would love to have you. I have a lot of wonderful subscribers, so join us. And yeah, if you're interested to see this palette and my thoughts on it, then just keep on watching. So I don't remember what I paid for this. I want to say it was like $28 with shipping, maybe $32. I don't think it was more than that. So it's not a terribly expensive palette. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the one from Hot Topic. I've had this for a while. Ooh, and I just dropped it on the floor. I did do a kind of review and swatch. I'm pretty sure I swatched this video. I did a video like a year ago where I swatched this palette and then tried to make a look, like tried to actually use it. It wasn't good. If I can remember, I will link that video down below. So if you want to see this palette, I didn't go into this palette thinking it was going to be good. I bought it for the aesthetic. And this originally retails for $16, and I think I got it on sale. So I think I paid $12. But Handbook for the Recently Deceased, I think, is licensed by whoever owns Beetle Juice, and obviously Hot Topic has that license. So yes, this is their version, but you will notice it's Handbook for the Dearly Departed with the same imagery, but not quite the same verbiage, because I think, you know, there's a licensing thing there, but I don't care. And then it's got the little like Polaroids of the is it the Dietzes? I think the Dietzes are the ones that move in. I'm tired and it's been a long time since I've seen the movie, so forgive me. But yeah, so let's open this one up and I will show you what the inside. So yeah, if you're curious, it wasn't good. But again, I just bought that for like to sit on my little like table back there where the Nightmare Before Christmas tree is. My Beetle Juice stuff is back there. So when we open it up, there is a mirror in here, and here are the shadows. Now, interestingly enough, there's not a green. This color, I feel like on camera is kind of reading hunter green. It's not. It's a black with shimmer. So there's not a green. Now I will say the Hot Topic palette, this isn't really going to be a palette comparison, but I feel like the color scheme of this is a little, at least with the cartoon, maybe those are the vibes I'm getting from the colors from this, where maybe this is more the movie. I don't know. Let me know down below if you think this color scheme and then this one is on point. This one's definitely Beetlejuice cartoon vibes, but that may be more of what Hot Topic was going for. But I feel like it should have had a green, because people think of green and purple and black when they think of Beetlejuice. So again, they obviously didn't license it completely because the verbiage on the palette's a little bit different, but it's still pretty. I'm not gonna lie, I bought it because I've been wanting to try the brand and I was drawn to the outer packaging more so. I mean, I looked at the color scheme and thought like those are wearable, like grungy tones that I can use. There are 3 press glitters. So we have this red, orange, and it's almost like a bronzy shade. So there are 3 glitters. There's some shimmers, there's some mattes. So let's swatch it, and then I'll try and do a look with it, and we'll go from there. And I forgot to mention this is a 15 pan palette, so I'll do 3, 3, 3, 3. I was gonna do the glitters. I think I'll do the glitters all at the end. Maybe we'll do that. So yeah, I did take my watch off. I'm gonna swatch them all. Forgive me, if I would have known this palette was coming, I would have taken it off the night before, but I didn't know it was gonna show up today, so here we are. So the first shade we have is Ghost Couple. And then maybe I'll just swatch them in order. Receptionist. That's pretty, but it's a pressed glitter. So there's Receptionist. It does have a binder in it, but I would say maybe use a glitter glue. We have Bio Exorcist, which is the one that I said earlier on camera was kind of reading Hunter Green. Now that is going over where my watch was, so that could be why that. Let me swatch a little bit below. Okay. Then we have Sandworms, which is a mustard shade. Deo, which is a darker eggplant. Dark Room, which is a satiny gray color. We have Live Nudes. It's a like cream. They did say on the website that this palette had different formulas in it. So there's some, like this one and the gray one are, I guess what would be considered a shimmer. Shrunken Head is red. Seance. It's kind of a brownie taupe. That's pretty. Let me do a second swatch of Shrunken Head. Reds are hard to formulate, so that black didn't swatch super great either, but swatches don't necessarily tell you how it's going to perform on the eyes. We have Shake Sonora, which is a nice peachy color. Lydia, which is a true eggplanty purple. Then we have It's Showtime, which is our third glitter. This one feels creamier than Receptionist. That one you can definitely see has more of a binder in it than the red one. You can see where it got real dry. And then we have Afterlife, which is the really pretty white. I think we're gonna make it. It might be down in my elbow, but I think we're gonna make it. Witch Doctor is the bronzy. Oh, that's pretty wet feeling too. Glitter. Yeah, I think Receptionist, let me stick my finger back in there. It's a little bit, oh, I got down into the creamier part. Okay. Maybe I just didn't stick my finger in there enough. Glitters are hard to swatch, but they're all pretty creamy. I just didn't rub through that layer enough. And then the last shade is Caseworker. So this is a very like neutral, like grungy neutral palette to me. With some glitter. Like I'm not sure, like the shimmers are not going to be the most blinding, but there's the palette. So I'll do a little bit of a base in my eyebrows, and we'll try and do a look and see how it actually works on there. All right, so we're gonna do the look. I did my base. Since there's no green in the palette, I feel like we needed a green. So I used Laser Glazer from Kaleidos as my highlighter. So if you see a little bit of green tint, I didn't do a lot, but I felt like we needed a little bit of green, and I may throw that in the inner corner on top of Afterlife, just because I feel like you don't necessarily need to do Beetle Juice themed looks, but since this is the first video with the palette, I feel like we need to have a little bit homage to Beetle Juice. So we're gonna have a little bit of green. I just primed with the MAC paint pot in soft ochre. That's what I always use. I wanted to use a primer that I use all the time. I'm gonna use brushes I use all the time. I have my color switch, so I'll probably only be using a couple of brushes and cleaning them off, but that'll give me a true test of what we're working with here with this palette. I did not plan out a look. We could go in a couple of different ways. We could do like the browns and the mustard, or we could do like the purples. I'm trying to debate. I've been debating if I'm going to use a glitter. I don't have my contacts in, obviously, because I had, maybe we'll do the purples and we'll try Witch Doctor. Can't even see what I'm doing. We'll try the purples and Witch Doctor, and because yeah, I don't want to wear I wear contacts, and I don't want to put glitter on my eyes when I have my contacts in. And since it was my day to take my contacts out yesterday evening, so I've been wearing my glasses all day, so I figured today would be the day to try the glitter. So I'm going to go in with Deo, which is the dark right there, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner. I had thought about using concealer as a primer, because that will really make the pigmentation stand out. The blending is a little bit more time consuming with the wet concealer, but I'll come a little closer with the mirror since I don't have my contacts in. But I don't use that as my primer as much as I do the MAC paint pot, so I figured to really give this a good testament of, to give you a good like first impression opinion of this palette, I figured I needed to use the MAC paint pot. But if you were to buy this and you weren't like super happy with the pigmentation, you could definitely try putting it over concealer. So I've just been dabbing it more than blending it, and I just color switched the brush so that, same brush, but it's, I want to see how this blends out. If you see me lean in, the mirror's not quite as close. I got used to having it further back because obviously with contacts in I can see. And it's been a month, so I forgot how blind I am. It does blend out. There's a little bit of like, and I don't know if these are all pressed pigments, if these are eyeshadows. I'll have to look in the ingredients. The ingredients are on the back. I haven't looked at them super close, but I feel like the color, and this is my Sigma blending E25. I have 2 of these. I use these. If you've watched tutorials, you know this is the brush I use for every initial step like this. So I don't think it's necessarily the brush. I was able to stamp, but you can still see a little bit right in there where it like clung. We'll go back and maybe try and deepen that up, and I'll go in with a little like smaller, denser brush, and we'll see. But then I'm going to go in with Lydia, which is the lighter purple on the edge. We'll see. I can't tell if there's, in the pan they look different. I guess it is a little bit brighter. Wasn't sure how much of a contrast we were gonna see. My eyes are hooded, so like it probably looks like a mess when they're somewhat closed but open. Not quite as bad. I would say the mattes are a little bit on the drier side, but they're not horrible, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go in with a smaller, this is from the Morphe Jeffree Star. This is the JS12. It's just a little baby blending brush. I'm going to take Shake Sonora, which is the peach that was in there. I don't want to keep holding the palette up because that's going to be time consuming. just to kind of soften it. They blend it out pretty good, but it also is gonna, being a lighter shade, is gonna help diffuse that a little bit. So do I want to use this brush or a different one? I'm trying to see. Maybe we'll take, this is a Luxie Mini Tapered, just a little. I'm going to take some more of Deo and kind of stamp it in. Outer corner. Let's see here. I feel like it did get a little patchy in the crease, but it blended out at the same time, so I don't know. It's a little confused about that shade. So it does, there's like a little bit of a line, but it blended a little bit. That looks better. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little, we'll do a little bit of Bio Exorcist just because that's the only black in here. There is some glitter in it, but I'm assuming it's one of those that the second you go to blend it, that glitter is going to go away. So I would just treat it like it's a matte, honestly. So I'm just stamping some of that black just because I want to deepen up the outer corner a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with this, and we'll put a little bit of Deo back on, just on the edge here. I just kind of plunked it in the corner. Very technical term. And then a little bit of Lydia. Did kind of a weird shape. Didn't make it as round. Probably because I can't see. I said I've been wearing contacts for a month. When I went back to work, we have to wear masks, so wearing contacts. I didn't realize how blind I am, and I have the mirror. It's not super far, but it's farther than it would be if I wasn't filming. And then I'm going to take just something like this in Afterlife, which is the white, and I'm going to put that. There isn't a really good brow bone highlight in here other than this one. Somebody with a deeper skin tone could probably use Live Nudes as a brow bone highlight. We're in the medium or darker range, and I'm going to take a little bit of the Peach Shake Sonora and kind of blend that up into the white. Okay. Like, it's not horrible at all, and I think that's pretty. Okay. We're going to put some glitter on. I think I'm going to take the eyeshadow over a little bit farther. Where's my flat brush? So we'll take a little bit more of Deo and we'll come in here more. And I'm just going to pat it. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Lydia, just because I think later on that'll help me blend out what's happening and won't be so difficult. Okay. Don't know. I think everything that's blank. I'm not going to put down a base color, so we'll see how pigmented this, I should say opaque, the glitter is. If you can see any skin underneath, if you need to put a base color down, we'll find all that out. I used to use pressed glitters all the time. If you watch some of my videos, I don't remember if I've done a single shadow video, but I know I've showed like my pressed glitters before. I used to wear them all the time, and then I kind of got out of it. This one is definitely squishier. I'm just tapping my brush in, and it's like the pans literally moving around. I didn't get very much on the brush, but trying to brush carefully because that's gonna get messy real quick. Oh, pray this doesn't make a gigantic mess. It's got like black and purple in it. I think that's what I'm looking at. I'm not really sure. I don't think it's like duochrome. I think there's black and purple glitter there, and I would have, that was probably too much. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some fallout, and I picked up too much that second time, so I'm afraid to go down farther because it's going to be in my eye. When I was wearing glitter all the time, it probably wouldn't have bothered me. Now I think it would bother me. So you can see there's some glitter on my face, probably on my shirt. Okay. Hopefully, this may be a long video. I don't know. Hopefully it's not terrible. But I've never used this brand before and I've been curious about it. Okay, so I don't know if I even said, I put the NYX glitter glue down. That's what I put down. They are pretty creamy, so you could potentially go in without it. I'm always kind of hesitant just because throughout the day, when they dry without any kind of binder, I don't know. I'm always hesitant. I put a little bit of Deo in there, and then I'm maybe going to put a little bit of black. I don't know. I feel like this is not going to look super blended. It's pretty. I don't know if that's necessarily, I don't know that I would ever put that on my lid again. I don't necessarily love the way that that looks. It's pretty. I think the orange or the red, honestly, would be better. I don't know. I'm going to have to play around, but it's been a long time since I've used glitter. And it's not like shiny enough for me. I am going to put a little bit of a heavy metal. This is Glam Rock. This is just the silver one. I'm gonna just see here how this, either gonna ruin it or it's gonna be better. It's just not sparkly enough on its own for me. If I'm gonna do a glitter, I want it to be sparkly. So there we go. So if I do want to do this again, problem solved. Okay, I think that looks better. I just added a little bit more sparkle. It just wasn't a sparkly enough glitter, if that makes sense. Like, it's not, the colors were pretty, but see that little silver glitter? You don't have to use this one, any glitter liner. Okay. Now there's glitter all over the palette. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the bottom. I think I'll take Dark Room. It's kind of a gray. I don't know that that's going to go with what's happening on the lid, but I like doing a shimmery lower lash line, and I don't think, I guess you could use Ghost Couple, which is the bronze, but I think we'll just use Dark Room, and I don't know, I'll blend it out with something maybe. It doesn't bother me that the shimmers are not like, oh, there goes the glitter in my eye, blinding, because I have like Lime Crime's, the original Venus XL palette. Like, Lime Crime does not have my favorite shimmer formula. The Immortalis palette, I think the little one has, as I'm blinking, I can feel glitter going. That's why I'm like making weird faces. I can feel glitter going into my eyeball as I'm like talking and blinking, but I just use glitter, something like this, or the Stila glitters. I have a couple like Sephora brand ones, because so this isn't a deal breaker for me that they're not like blinding metallics or like super shimmery shimmers. So that is, I'm just taking Lydia underneath to kind of bring some more purple down in the bottom. So that's, yeah, that's not a deal breaker for me. I own lots of glittery topper things that I can, because I said my lime crime palettes aren't glittery enough or sparkly enough, shiny enough, whatever. For me, I like that gray with a little bit of purple underneath. So yeah, not a deal breaker with the shimmers. I've kind of gotten spoiled. There's been a lot of brands that are doing like strong like metallics, and so I always like every shimmer has to be metallic, and it doesn't. So not everybody wants this. This is a little more natural of a shimmer, so like I said, it's very comparable to the Lime Crime shimmer, so nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna go in with Afterlife, which is what we put under the brow. In the inner corner, and then I am going to take some of Laser Glazer. Just so we have a little bit more green, just because, why not? That's pretty. I love these as inner corner highlights. Like that's pretty, like I love that now. See, I'm so much happier. I just had to add a couple of things that I already own. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do the other eye off camera. Where are we at? Maybe I'll do the other eye off camera. I'm probably gonna put a different shimmer on this side and not a glitter, and we'll see what that looks like, and I'll come back. I actually changed my mind and just decided we'll play with the browns, and this will just be a longer video. So if you want to just see what my final thoughts were, just skip ahead the next 10 or 15 minutes, maybe. Hopefully it won't be that long. Let's take Seance, which is the mid-tone, like lighter brown shade. I'm partly doing this because I like actually how this ended up coming out. I'm afraid to put glitter on both eyes. I'm just gonna take this off after I'm done filming this, and I can already feel glitter in my eye, and I'm gonna try and put my contacts in tomorrow. I don't know, glitter scares me a little bit now, especially since I started wearing contacts, because I've had glitter in my eye when I've had contacts in, and I have a ton of pressed glitters. I should probably either like get over that or give them away, because I don't use them, especially the last like month or so, because yeah, I definitely went through a pressed glitter phase where I was using pressed glitter all the time, and I just don't anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that. People's tastes change, so it happens. But I still have them. I refuse to get rid of them. Okay, this will do a little bit more of a like natural, wearable, everyday look. And I'm just going to take Caseworker, which is the darker brown. Just using the same brush, that same Sigma one that we used before. It's one of my favorite brushes ever. That's why I have two of them. It just works really well. In the morning when I'm getting ready, I don't have like time to sit here and fart around with like 10 brushes, so generally we'll do my eyeshadow with like 3, maybe 4 at the most. I take a little bit of Shake Sonora, again, that peachy shade. I feel like there wasn't a stark contrast between the dark brown and the light brown. I feel like Caseworker maybe needed to be just a smidgen darker, or have Seance be a hair lighter, because I feel like, I'm sure maybe you can tell better than I can. I feel like they look very similar to me, but we do have a black, so I'm going to use the same little brush, and we'll put a little bit of black in there just to darken that up. And like I said, the glitter in here does not bother me. It's I mean, I'm sure it's throughout the whole pan, but it's superficial glitter. It's gonna, as soon as you go to blend it out, that glitter is not gonna stick, so you can treat that like it's a matte. I don't think it's a horrible black. Like, it's not the most pigmented black ever, but it's definitely not a bad black. and see that deepened it up. So let's go back in with a little bit of seance on the edge here. I think the shadows so far from what I've used have blended nicely. Like that looks pretty to me. I have like a few nitpicky things, but nothing bad. And it's blendable, like they've all been blendable. Like I said, the mattes are a little bit drier, but they blend. There's pigmentation there and they blend, so can't really complain much about that. We're gonna use Afterlife, which is the white, for the brow bone highlight again. And then I'm gonna take a little bit more of Shake Sonora. Go in with a little bit more seance too, kind of up in there. Take the peach a little bit higher than the brown, like almost too high, because then it was reading like more peach and I want it to be more like a neutrally brown look. But we fixed it, so there's that. Like that looks really pretty to me. You'll have to let me know down below if you made it this far, what you thought. Okay, and I think I'm just gonna put Live Nudes on. I just have primer on. Let me use my finger because they're very creamy. So that's what it looks like. Let's see what this looks like with just the primer. No concealer, like that I think looks nice. I would actually say these are better than the Lime Crime shimmers, in my opinion. It's a similar like satiny shimmer, but and that's a pretty light color, so I just took it in the, I think I could get away with using that as a brow bone highlight, honestly. It looks darker in the pan. That's pretty light. That's good to know. And I did swatch these, I just don't remember. I forgot. Okay, and then I don't know, I like Ghost Couple, which is the copper. I feel like I want to put a little bit kind of where the dark, oh, that's pretty. Got a lot. And you could use a brush, but I'm just tapping it out with my finger. Like that went on really easy and I like that a lot. That looks pretty. A little bit of the copper. I don't know what to use on the lower lash line. Maybe just the same browns. I don't know where I put my lower lash brush, probably back. Okay. Let's take maybe Case Worker, which is the darker of the two. And maybe I'll take Sandworm underneath it to blend it, which is the mustard. This reads pretty warm to me. There are some cool tones, like with the gray. Obviously you have a black. Receptionist is a little more on the cooler side, but there's definitely some warm tones in it too, so I feel like you can get some versatile looks with it. Oh goodness, flipping the color switch. So I'm going to take Sandworm, and this could look bad. Well, I don't know. I'm just blending it out underneath. That's pretty. Like this is a very wearable eye, like every day, something to wear to work. Nothing crazy. And then you got that like going to the bar, the club side, so that's pretty. Okay, I will throw some liner on and some mascara and I will give you my final thoughts. Okay, I did do liner and mascara. I didn't put lashes on. Obviously I did a bigger wing on this side than I did on this side. The wings go with their corresponding eye looks, but they're obviously not the same. I feel like two-faced here. We got the like the good side and the bad side a little bit. I like Batman, so that's where that reference came from, if you're new and you weren't familiar with that. So let's talk about the palette. The shimmers are very creamy and pigmented. I was surprised how pigmented and nice and easy that one went on with just the primer base. There was no glitter glue, there was no concealer. I really like how like both of these eyes look really pretty to me. This one's grown on me quite a bit. I honestly was afraid to do glitter on this eye, but I'm glad that I decided to use more colors and do 2 different eyes just so we were able to use more of the palette. Like I said when I was doing the eye look, the mattes feel like they're not like the dry, they're not like Morphe dry. There's a little bit of kick up, not really much fallout. The only fallout I'm getting is the glitter, like the actual glitter, but like the black is decent. All in all, not a bad formula at all. I'm interested to see how the red performs. Like I could see doing like the red and the mustard and doing a little peach maybe, and doing like a sunset eye and maybe using that glitter and then putting like this on the lower lash line. I think that would be really pretty. Like I think you can do some different looks with this. You have some options. I don't know how much I'm going to use the pressed glitter. Like I said, when I wear my contacts, that's like, because there's no way to remove it without getting glitter in your eye, and having contacts in that's horrible. But it's actually a good palette, whereas the other Handbook for the Recently Deceased palette is not good. I like the packaging. For me, this is one of those things, like if it was a bust, it was going to go on the shelf with the other one, but I am actually going to keep this in with my eyeshadow palettes. The other one is decoration. It does not go in there. So yeah, I actually like this. I am now curious to try other palettes from this brand, but all in all, I would say if you like Beetle Juice, you're not going to be disappointed. If you like this color story, you're not going to be disappointed, other than like the glitters. I know people, because there's 3, this is technically a 12 pan palette if you were to pretend that the glitters didn't exist, which is still like, it's not a large, like excessively large, but it's not like a small palette. So I don't know, I get a lot of fall vibes from this, so hopefully I will use this more when we start getting into end of summer, fall time. So yeah, all in all, I like it. I will leave their website and the palette linked down below if you're interested in checking it out. I don't know if it's still available, but I'll leave their website down and you can take a look and see if there's anything else. I am curious now to try other palettes because their formula is good. So again, Wicked Sisters, the Handbook for the Dearly Departed palette. I give it a thumbs up. I liked it. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of the looks. Let me know, especially on this eye, you could probably see more of what was happening than I could just because I'm blind. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the palette, what you thought of the looks, how the looks came out. Let me know. I didn't put a lip on because we have 2 very different eyes and I wasn't sure what color I was going to do, so there's no lip. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you liked it and you'll want to go check them out. Again, I bought the palette myself. I'm not affiliated with them at all. They don't know who I am, so I just felt like I would throw this out there. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Make sure you're subscribed before you leave, and yeah, hopefully I will see you in another video very soon. Bye everyone.